And with that, we'll take questions. Todd.
Since Paul was talking about that, I wanted to ask you about that sled hockey game. Have you seen that before, and what are your takeaways from seeing that?
The sled hockey, if you haven't seen it, watch the YouTube it and watch. I think there was a PBS documentary on it, which is an absolute must see if you're inspired at all by heroes and people you like to admire. This group is a special group. There will be a you'll be shocked at how good these athletes are and how hard they compete. So hopefully, if you haven't seen it, you'll stick around to watch them because they are a special group. And I know Coach Sauer's done an amazing job with them. And I know how much fun he's having with them and how much he's learned from these kids and players and adults and whoever he has on his team are remarkable people, and it's been an extremely rewarding experience for Coach.
Brian?
When you came back and took over the program, did you reach out to Jeff or vice versa, and how much do you and he speak, I guess, not only about the game, but just about life in general?
Yep, Coach Sauer was a big influence on me as a player in person. I was fortunate enough to play for him for 4 years. I had him on some different U.S. teams as well. So he was a family friend and a friend beyond just the game of hockey for really my entire family. So I did contact him right when this whole thing came down and talked to him about it. Right when I did get into town, we went to lunch and discussed a lot of different topics and things. And I do talk to him. I would say every few weeks we talk now. Just check in and see how it's going. I know him and I have been together with the hearing impaired hockey school as well. He's now the head coach and has been for quite some time with the deaf Olympic team. And so I would see him every summer at that, and we keep in contact with that stuff as well.
Todd?
You've been talking about having a more exciting product. How would you grade that so far in 6 games? Do you think you've shown
I will
case?
tell you, in Clarkson and St. Lawrence, those were really exciting games. Probably not as exciting as it was here in Camp Randall on Saturday night, but for the hockey coaches and staff, we were really satisfied and inspired by our players' efforts. And they were entertaining. They were tough buildings to play in. Those two teams are very physical. It's a smaller building. It was an energized crowd and band the second night, and we stuck together and battled through what I thought was our most consistent periods of hockey or stretches of hockey early in the season. And so we got to feel pretty good about ourselves on how the weekend went, with the same thing in mind that we've said every time we've been here, is we're just trying to get better and each and every day. So we got a big week of practice. We play Northern this weekend, who we split with in Green Bay. There's areas that we will continue to try and improve on, but the overall energy and compete level was really outstanding throughout the weekend.
I think Andy in the back.
Tony, when a new coaching staff comes in and takes over new players, everybody's adjustment period is different regardless of what the circumstances are. Have the lights gone on for a lot of these guys yet, or are there still some guys still struggling a little bit to get it going, or was this past weekend a big change for that population?
It's a really good question. I think we've been here long enough from a coaching perspective, even though the season's young. And I think we got to know the players. It's not like we jumped in the middle of a season, there's a coaching change, and you jump on the bench and you're trying to coach a team that you really don't know anything about. I think we did enough homework on watching last year's team play on video. We did a lot of getting to know the kids, their personalities, and what they're motivated by throughout the summer. So I think that part of it shouldn't be a long process of them getting to know us getting to know them. I think that was done over the summer. I think we've seen our team grow in certain areas that I was not so sure it would be this fast. And one of them was the fact that the first game was the most physical game we played. They tried to run us out of the building, and I wasn't sure how we'd handle that situation when it came upon us. And I think they became more inspired. They played for one another. They battled for one another. They took hits to make plays for one another. And that I wasn't so sure how long that process would take for them to understand and realize that we're playing for each other. And that was, we looked at each other on the bench as this game went on, and some of the things that you expect to see as a team matures were happening faster than we thought they would.
Todd.
After Clarkson scored in the third period on Saturday, I think they had one more good shift, got a couple shots, but then after that, you guys pretty much sealed it off, didn't give them any more shot attempts or shots. Has that been encouraging to you to see what's happening, protecting a lead, especially in third periods, what you've been able to do so far?
And I think that goes through the 60 minutes when, obviously when the team scores at the end of the second period, the second night, to pull within one, how you're going to respond to that. And sometimes when you sit in a locker room after you give up a late goal, your head's down and it carries over into the next period. And our guys, regroup fast. And instead of going out on our heels, we went out and got on the attack to start the third and scored on our first shift. So I think that part of the maturity is one of the things that we just mentioned with Andy's question. That part of the maturity is coming along faster. And the part of not letting something bad happen, whether it be a bad call, whether it be a goal against, whether it be, something that happens that changes the momentum of the game, it's not taking us as long to recover from those situations. And certainly was, when you go on the road and that, like I said, both those teams came at us hard. We were able to weather the storm when it did happen and find a way to turn the momentum back our way really quickly.
Brian.
How'd you think Grant Bessie played this past weekend?
His best weekend. I thought he was outstanding. That line that we had talked about last week of not being to their game yet, I thought they were outstanding. That whole line, Cameron and Luke, not only did they score for us, but I thought they controlled the play. I thought their battle level was outstanding. Defensively, they were responsible and smart, and I thought that was a really big weekend for those guys.
Any further questions, Todd?
I know you crossed paths with the Minnesota people out in New York. The Big Ten as a whole has done pretty well so far in non-conference, which is important down the road when you're starting to talk about tournament play and who gets in. Is that a positive sign for you to see the league, which has kind of been maligned for a couple of years,
Yeah, I think the league's taken some criticism as far as not doing as well in the non-conference game as everyone would have expected them to in the past little while. So certainly for us and many to go in those buildings, they ended up with a win and a tie, and we ended up with 2 wins. That's good for our conference. Those were 2 good teams, and I think our 6 teams that are in our conference now are all teams that are good college hockey teams, and like you said, it's important for the rankings as you move forward to do well in these non-conference games, and I think we've had a good start.
Anything else? Thank you.
Thank you guys and girls.